Well, hello folks, and welcome back to Arcanum. Well, off-screening coming up with money, I decided it's probably not going to be a good idea. And I was flipping through my journal, looking for quests and stuff, something I might be able to make money with, whenever I remembered and saw that one message, that one little entry about the guy walking around the docks, babbling nonsense. Everyone we talked to, I even went up to Ashbury and was going to talk to Edward Teach off-screen, just to see what he would say while attempting to run into orcs and stuff for their armor. And Edward's not at his boat, so we can't take him, unfortunately. All of the captains I speak to continue to tell me to go back to Blackroot, and the only clue in my journal is that one crazy guy that I don't think we ever actually bumped into. I do remember we spent a little bit of time around town looking for him, and I don't remember seeing anybody walking around babbling nonsense. We're going to spend a little bit of time walking around town, seeing what we can find here, though. Everyone's telling me to go to Blackroot, so I don't want to play any dice with you, and I know how to book passage on a ship. If you ask anyone that question, they get highly offended at you and insult your intelligence. So you're the asshole who wants to sell me the boat for 50,000. I really wish I could negotiate a lower price or something. You're not going to tell me anything. Dock worker. I want to go to Thanatos. Are you daft? He doesn't tell me to go to Blackroot. He's the only one who doesn't tell me to go to Blackroot. And you know what? They might all just be telling me to go to Blackroot because, hey, there's Edward. What the fuck are you doing here? Well, well. If it isn't me old friend. A friendly face is what I be needing to see, matey. The days have been dark since we last sailed. I wasn't expecting to see you here. This is quite fortuitous indeed. But first, before I go talk to you about Thanatos, tell me, what's happened? I lost me boat, matey. Went and got too drunk one night and found myself a-gambling with Killian Drake, an old sea captain who knows his way around a dice game. He played me, matey. He played me a fool, and I lost me boat. Maybe I could help, and I may need to call on that favor. That's mighty nice of you, matey. And you know, if there's anything I can do for you, old Teach will do it. Well, I need to get to the island of Thanatos. Huh, Thanatos. That's even crazier than wanting to go to the Isle of Despair. But I'm figuring it's important, and I know it's the way Mr. Bates would want it. I suppose there are a couple of different ways you might get there. One, you could buy a boat from that shipbuilder here in Blackroot, which ain't cheap. Tell me about it. What are my other options? You might be able to get a dice game with old Drake, but he's no rubber leg when it comes to the dice. He's lucky, and he plays for big stakes. I wouldn't be a-tossing with him unless you feel real lucky, and he won't be a-playing with just anyone. Old Drake knows a gambler when he sees one. Okay, so I'm never going to win the boat from Drake is what you're telling me. What's the other solution? Well, I'm a little weary of mentioning it. It's not something I even like to think about, much less let spill out of me blowhole. But you seem to need some help, and I do owe you one. I'd appreciate it. Did I ever tell you the story of how I came to own the Gypsy Shadow? No. It's just as well that I didn't tell it. But I'll say that I ended up with the Gypsy Shadow on account of the most cold-blooded, murdering pirate who ever sailed the seas of Arcanum. His name was Stringy Pete. Or Stringy. I don't know. So what does that have to do with getting to Thanatos? Well, there's a legend about old Stringy Pete, and I know it be true. You see, old Pete died more'n 200 years ago, but legend has it he still sails the seas, a-hunting those souls who be unlucky enough to run across him. Well, if we don't have a boat, how can I go out to sea? I'm saying I've seen his boat, and I know it to be real. If you could get his boat without getting yourself run through by his ghost, you'd have yourself a boat. So how do you even find a ghost pirate's boat? Years ago, I found a secret cove, and there on the beach was with an unmarked grave. unmarked except for the sign of the Evil Eye, which is the sign Stringy Pete used to carve on his victims. I got out of there fast without even looking for treasure. That could have been the place where he was buried, and if it was, it said most spirits return to their graves. A secret cove, huh? Well, if I do go there, I might find some clues. Yes, matey, I agree. Here, I'll mark your map with the location of the cove. Looks like you have a few options. Buying, gambling, or Stringy Pete. I don't like any of them, but good luck. Good luck. Well, buying and gambling are completely out. And if he's telling me those are my only options, maybe there is absolutely no one in town walking around muttering nonsense. I'm curious. Why would the game tell me about that? Why would it put that information in there? The guy's got to be around here somewhere. Maybe he only shows up at a certain time of the day, or if you have, like, a certain amount of liquor in your inventory. You're not spouting anything. You guys are just human guards. I figure he'd be like a hobo or something. But that is fortunate luck that we ran into old Edward there. I legitimately did not know he would be there. I went up to look for you, you bastard, all the way in Ashbury. And you were nowhere to be seen. I guess that's why, though. A gambling man who wasn't very good at gambling. So, where is this place? If I was a secret cove... Stringy Pete's Cove. A haunted cove. For a second I was like, maybe it'll be the ancient shipwreck that we've already been to. What do you mean, game? Don't fuck with me here. We got a long journey ahead of us. This beats running in circles for hours trying to find enough orcs to kill. Especially considering the fact I can't really haul that much of their armor. Oh god, that was gonna take so long. I was gonna waste so much of my free time. I don't like grinding unless I have to. Or unless there's significant entertainment to be derived from doing so. Even in JRPGs, I try not to grind that much, unless I have to. Or unless I find the combat really fun. Like Star Ocean Till the End of Time. Combat in that's pretty good. I don't mind grinding in that so much. Whopping 4 gold. Should I even bother? My heart tells me no. You only need to kill 5,000 of them, Plump. 1 to 3 at a time. And you'll have that money in no time. Or we'll run into stuff like this, you know, repeatedly, over and over and over. Wolves and spiders.
Wow, I've never seen such a skillful blow.
Yeah, you have. You've seen a lot of them from me, actually, Raven. Is your memory that bad? You're an elf. Or we'll run into bears. I would probably be able to hit level 50 before I got enough money to buy that damn boat. Just a hunch. Critical miss! How do you miss? The bear wasn't even moving, Raven. Stringy Pete's Cove. Let's just stay on the trail. Unless I find some reason not to. A big wooden object. You mean a boat? Takes us across over here. And there is a grave. I'm gonna dig it up. Or no, I'm not. Huh. Skeletons. Did we really find a ghost ship? Stringy Pete, level 50. We see a spirit in front of us. It is a skeleton dressed in tattered rags and a large hat, and wielding an evil-looking saber. Its eyes glow with an unholy light. Who be treading upon me grave? Who be trying to get their hands on me treasure? Prepare to die, ye land-lubbing goat bugger. No one sees the evil eye of Stringy Pete and lives. Wait, I'm not here to take anything. I just want to talk with a legend. Talk? What would a rubber-legged bilge fish like you want to be a-talking about with the ghost of Stringy Pete? I've been a-sailing the seas of Arcanum for more than 200 years, and I drink blood ale and gnaw on the bones of priests and maidens. I not be a-looking to talk. Well, you're talking right now. I need a moment to explain to you. To explain? What you be needin' to explain, matey? You be digging around me bones and looking for me treasure? To a pirate, that be worse than a finding ye baitin' your hook with me wife. Look, I need your boat. It's totally simple. Me boat. I cared for me wife less than this boat. Why in the name of all that's unholy would I give ye me boat? You're speaking gibberish, and I had more than an earful of it. A soul as tormented as me own has got little patience for the blubberings of the living. Tormented? Wait a second, don't you enjoy being a bloodthirsty pirate ghost? Enjoy it? Are you daft, matey? I was the crustiest, meanest, most bloodthirsty pirate who ever lived, and none of what I did when I was alive compares to the things I've seen dead. So what have you seen? I see all the souls of the dead who walk this world, and I see the souls of all me victims, and they torment me as I still be a tormentin' the livin', and it be their pain I feel every day, and every night on these glassy seas, and their dead eyes that be staring out at me from their murky depths. So who cursed you? I cursed myself. I spilled the blood of innocents, desecrated holy places, and the worst thing I ever did, I broke a pirate's blood oath. Even without the first two, I deserved what I got because of the last. I shouldn't even call myself a pirate after what I did. So you're saying you don't want to be here? No, but I've got no choice. I was cursed, matey. Cursed from the day I died to sail the seas forever, a-haunting those souls who be taking my name in vain, to strike terror in the pure of heart, to be giving little ones nightmares. Is there any way to break this curse? Break the curse? And why would ye be wanting to do that, matey? Why would one such as ye want to be helping the evil ghost of old Stringy Pete? Well, by helping you, I help a lot of innocents as well that you'll be tormenting down the line, right? Also, I need the boat to go to Thanatos. That'd be quite a story, and one I'd not be inclined to believe when I was flesh and blood. But shatter me squid's beacon if I hadn't seen stranger things since. Perhaps there is something we might do here. Yeah, well, any help you have would be appreciated. Well, I can't be giving up of this boat on account of the curse. It'd be my fate to sell these old timbers until the end of time. But I know a way we might break that curse, if you'd be willing to do a little legwork. I love legwork. What do I need to do? Well, there be 3 things if my suspicions are correct. 3 wrongs to right and the curse will be broken. Okay? What about the first? The first be an easy task. I told ye, I killed many an innocent in me time. A good and pure man by the name of Jonas Williamson. Killed him for the silver buckles on his boots, but mostly for the sport of it. I laughed while he bled into the gutter, crying out to me that I spare his family. So how am I supposed to make that right? Well, his family. They fell on hard times without him, and the Williamsons been poor ever since. You'll need to dig up my treasure, including those silver buckles, and give it to whoever is left of the Williamsons. My treasure is buried a little north of here. Okay, and where are the Williamsons? Here. I know they still live there. I've sailed by there in the years since I died. It'd not be a nice place. Okay. Yes, but don't be a-thinking you can keep some of the treasure for yourself. These curses, they be old and smart. And if you be trying to cheat 'em, then I'm still gonna be sailing the seas, and then I'm still gonna be coming after ye. You savvy that, matey? Of course. What about the other tasks? The second one. The second task might be a little more complicated. There be a temple in the hills just off of the Gulf of Morbihan, in a little town called Vorden, and many years ago I was a-pillaging the surrounding countryside, and I broke into the place and stole some holy relics, and desecrated their sacred altar. And sure enough, those old monks threw a curse on me. So what can I do there? They didn't care about the holy relics, but I be thinking they might have got their robes in a bundle over the altar. You see, I spilled some wine and ale all over it, and I might have even relieved myself on it. It'd been a long night, you know. Okay. Yeah, they weren't just singing hymns when we left. Anyway, that altar of theirs, I think it needs to be replaced. You'll have to find a talk with the monks there to find out what needs to be done. Savvy? Okay, well, I've already done that. You have. Looks like the stars are shining down on this old evil pirate for once, matey. That's one less thing you need to do. What about the third one? The last will be the most difficult. You see, as I was getting on in the years, there was nothing I hadn't done, and nowhere I hadn't sailed, and no treasure I hadn't laid my hands on. There was only one thing I wanted, and I wasn't even sure if it existed, and I made it my business to find out. What was it? The Bangelian Scourge. What the hell is that? The Bangelian Scourge is the most evil piece of weaponry ever wielded by any soul in the land of Arcanum. Legend says it was forged in the blood fires of the Bangelian deeps, and that virgins and children were thrown into the fire to keep it stoked. It's kind of interesting. He hesitates a moment, seeming to stare at us. And it be said that the Bane of Cree cut down a whole battalion of elven warriors with it before he was banished, and that Lorik wielded it during the Dwarven clan wars, and that any but the most evil of people die at the mere sight of it. Sounds like a pretty evil blade. Yes, matey, and an evil blade it be. I wanted it more than anything in all of Arcanum, and I planned on getting me hands on it. So what happened? At the time, I had me a crew of 7 of the most black-hearted and soulless pirates, and they all agreed it was a fine piece of treasure to go after, and we took a pirate's blood oath to stand by one another's share in the treasure. And so we searched Arcanum for it, and found it one day we did, in the swamps of the Dark Fens, down in the Bangelian deeps. And then, it'd been buried there for centuries, a beautiful sight. Its blade as black as onyx, and carved in ancient runework, and I held it in me hands, and it called me. So what did you do with it? We all did nothing, matey. That night when everyone was asleep, that cursed blade twisted my mind, and it told me that my crew was mutinous, and looking to get rid of me. And so I killed them all in their sleep, matey, cut all their throats from ear to ear. When I woke in the morning and seen what I'd done, I threw the blade down, and ran out of there. Okay, and the Bangelian Scourge. It still lies there as far as I know, among the murdered bones of me crew. You must destroy that evil blade. At the bottom of the cave that we found it in, is a great furnace. Toss it in there and let the world be done with it. Here's where the deeps be. Okay. Well, I'll go. So, that's a lot of tasks to do. Thankfully, one of them is done. Stringy Pete's treasure. Let me actually save it. Because, quite frankly, I am fully expecting us to die at some point in this. Stringy Pete's treasure. So we'll go get his belt, or yeah, his shoe buckles. That is definitely going to be the easy one. Golden bears. If only you had gold or pelts. Wonder if that's a reference to golden geckos, maybe. Really? This is why grinding for the gold was simply not going to work. Oh, 19, wow. Getting so close. Only need to kill 1,000 more. I don't care about looting their body. I've got more than enough money than I will probably ever need. Unless for some reason I simply cannot do the quest and I have to buy the boat. So, it's treasure, huh? Oh, really? A greater Galrith and a lesser one. Anything else want to come attack me? A Worgen. Krugmar, why the fuck did you run all the way over there? What do you mean I try to dig with my hands? There's my shovel. I say it's locked? I accidentally locked it? How do I lock a grave? Silver boot buckles. Stringy Pete's treasure. I gotta ask. I gotta check this. Did he tell me to take his treasure? Seems he's cursed. Blah, blah, blah. Gypsy bag. That's definitely not it. Return his treasure, including this dude. Yeah, okay. I don't want to fuck this up somehow, which is definitely something I would do. So, where's the Williamsons? The Williamsons' homestead. On the other side of Cree. Why couldn't it have been as simple as going to Cree and murdering everything there? Dang it. Come on, Krugmar, get in there. Get in there and murder some stuff. God damn it. Get in there and get some blood on your hands. The axe is thirsty. This axe might be an evil weapon. Okay. I'll let you handle it. I mean, how many souls and lives has this axe taken? Granted, it hasn't taken a whole lot of innocent lives. But kites, wolves, orcs and bandits? How many evil things have we killed, whose blood have probably tainted this axe? This is a pretty sad place. Hello, sir. I'm trying to talk to you. Apparently you're not the one I need to talk to. They don't have a horrible thing going on here. They got a nice little farm. Good view of the ocean. Might I ask who you are, ma'am?
My name is Molly Williamson, sir.
A pleasure. Do you have a moment to speak? What are you doing out here?
Well, sir, it's cheap living out here in the middle of nowhere. We eat what we pull out of the ocean, make all our own clothes, and beyond that, we don't need a whole lot. The Williamson clan ain't never had a whole lot of money. Not since what happened to my great-granddaddy Jonas, anyhow.
Well, actually, Jonas is why I'm here. I know this sounds strange, but, this is Jonas's shoe buckles that a pirate killed him for, and some additional treasure to ease the pain of generations, I guess.
Well, I'll be. I heard strange tales, and then I heard strange tales. Yours takes the cake, sir. To think that the ghost of that old pirate wants to make good for what he'd done almost 200 years ago.
I know, it's slightly unbelievable.
So, you bring me that old treasure in the belt buckles?
Yep.
Thank you. I suppose old Stringy Pete ain't such a bad bugger after all.
Oh, he is. He's a pretty miserable piece of crap. We need to go all the way up to the Bangelian Deeps. Oh, boy. Go to Toronto. Really wish I had teleport abilities. Since I'm getting further along in my playlist now, I've started watching Grimmeth's playlist again. Since I'm not gonna get... Since I won't... I'm past the point of spoilers, basically. I can watch a bunch more and see how he handled things. And honestly, I don't think that, I really regret going this build that much. Harm looks useful, but once you get the Pyro Axe, it kind of puts everything else to shame. Good job, Krugmar missing. About the only spell I would like to have is Teleport. And I'm not sure if I ever could have even got that without severely hampering my technological aptitude, which could have caused issues with things like the Pyro Axe. I'm not sure what the most powerful build in the game is, since I've only seen mine and Grimmeth's, but I'm curious if it would be a mix of weapons and a little dash of technology here and there. Or if it's just better to min-max one way or the other. About the only downside to a mage that I saw is the massive amounts of fatigue that you burn through. Really? Which, by the way, as far as I know, and I'm probably wrong about this, can't be offset by fatigue restore. Because I don't think they're as effective as they should be. If you're fully spec'd down that line. Down the magic tree line. Game, you're really interrupting my flow with all these constant fucking battles. Can we just get to where we're going, please? No? Not too much to ask for? You want to throw pissant enemies at me that are never going to get me to another level? Game's like, oh, you don't think we'll ever get you to another level, huh? Well, how about 50 more encounters before you get to your destination?
Wow, I've never seen such a skillful blow.
It's not about the blow, Raven. It's about the technique. You see how I just weaved my way through those little bastards? Using the momentum of my blade to propel me on to the next one. Getting kind of silly. We've gained 5,000 experience since I said that earlier. Oh, silly, silly, silly. The Mangelian Deeps. So, I think I'm going to end the video here. Whenever we come back, we will explore this place and see if we can find the Blade of Evil. And then take it to Mount Doom and destroy it somehow. If there's anything with fire down here, I'm going to be a little bit upset.